Hey friends, welcome back to the Pixie-Latte channel. Today I have something special. I was recently invited to a podcast to talk about Disney Vacation Club. Now, whether you're a current member or thinking about becoming a member, this conversation is packed with some insight and some tips that will help you along the way. So go ahead, grab your favorite latte, get comfy, and let's jump right into the podcast.
How Yinz doing? Welcome to the Where Yinz Going podcast. I'm Matt. I'm your host. Joining me today again for the sixth time is Annell. Welcome
Hi,
back, Annell.
Matt. 6 times. Wow. It's been that many so far?
A couple more and you get your free pizza or whatever it is that we stamp do you bring your little coupon thing to
Sounds like a
stamp? And
plan. Sounds like a plan.
so Annell's joined us to talk about so many things. Today, we're going to talk about the Disney Vacation Club.
Yes, yes. One of my favorite things.
And so we're going to talk about in general the resorts that the DVC resorts that are at Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, and elsewhere in the world. We're not really here to sell you on becoming a member. We're not going to go into the full details of all that DVC involves, but we want to highlight some of these resorts which you can stay at even if you are not a member. So it's basically just like a normal hotel that you book, that we can help you book too, but it adds a little bit of an extra thing for a little bit different type of stay. And they have suites and efficiencies and things with full kitchens. So it both Annell and I are members of DVC, so we stay at these resorts all the time. So we're very familiar with them, and I've either stayed at them or visited them or um, done a tour of some of the rooms at some of these. So we've been there, done that, know what they look like, and it's fabulous. We'll give you a little details of it. DVC is basically like the Disney timeshare. In order to join, you have to give it an initial deposit, and the cost will rhyme with thousand. So it's an expensive buy-in. Although if you're going to go to Disney, yearly, it can be worth your while. There's also a yearly fee, which is a couple $100 depending on how many points you buy. And then the whatever point you have, there's different stays or and different hotels are going to cost different points per night, and depending on when you go, which resort you're at, what type of room you get. So whole big thing like that. And now you can use these points for Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, the Disney Cruise Line, Alani, a Disney resort and spa, and Ko'alina, Hawaii. Thank you, Maureen. Disney's Vero Beach Resort, Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort, and then there are some other hotels around the world that they're part of the collection you can exchange your points to stay at.
Right.
And now, whenever you buy in, you get what's called a home resort that you can book 11 months in advance. And then you can book all the other 7 months in advance. And recently, it's harder and harder to get anything that's not your home resort. Although, well, I guess depending on the room you want to get, we usually get the
Right.
studio, and
Hmm.
those book up fast. There's, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms available, but we don't quite need all that space. So, and then you get some other amenities that there's some discounts at the stores you can get, and specialty cruises and other events that you can get invited to that you do have to pay for still. But my home resort is Saratoga Springs. And now, which one's yours?
Mine is the Riviera. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And actually, no matter which one of these, the Disney resorts you stay at, you really can't go wrong.
Sure.
That there's so many times of we'll go, it's like, oh, the Disney's Boardwalk. Oh, that's my favorite. The Temporary. Oh no, that's my favorite. The Yacht Beach. No, that's and each one is so fabulous in its own way that it's really hard
Right.
to compare. That all right, this one is really great because it has this, but this one's really great because it has that. And yeah, it's hard to pick
Right. And the great thing is that you can just hop around and try them all.
that too.
So
And
my
that's the
my
other,
second one is Animal Kingdom. I like the Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's
getting
gonna
the
be my
balconies and
second.
waking up with, drafts walking by your balcony.
Right. And it's just the atmosphere, the smell. Each of the resort has that unique smell, the smells. It's just it's a different feel, each one.
And especially the Animal Kingdom Lodge with some of the restaurants they have there, that it's a different flavor with like the more of the African food, and it has a unique
Mm-hmm.
smell and flavor and taste, and it stands out.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk in there, it's like, yep, I could stay here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hungry. I just ate lunch
Hmm.
5 minutes ago, but I'm hungry again. It just smells so
Right.
good.
Right. And their pools are awesome.
Yeah.
They have really nice pools.
Now with the DVC, it's good for some people. It's not right for everybody. You know, if you don't use your points, you're wasting money. It was worth it for me because we go to Disney just about every year, and the
Hmm.
number of points I was able to buy that made sense that okay, we're going to use that number of
Right.
points.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and I held off for a while before buying in because it was more than I would use. And it wasn't until they had a special deal if I could get into the lower point level. It's like, okay, yes, I will use that. And then
Hmm.
I don't regret it because we go so often, but people who are going to go once every couple of years or, only a few times in their lifetime, then no, don't do it.
I regret we didn't do it sooner. And that's just so common, I think, among DVC members. I would just wish that I would have just gone in sooner. It just really made sense for my family once we really did the math. I was like, we should have done this years ago.
I was a little bit late on mine, but I did it. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
And now we've already talked about most of these resorts on other episodes, or we're going to talk about some of them in upcoming episodes. So we're not going to go into the full details of restaurants and resort amenities and everything that's offered at all of them, because that would take several hours and several episodes. I'm sure Annell and I would love talking about it, but we've already been there, done that. So we're going to talk about it, but we're more going to highlight things that we really like about each of the individual resorts. And then later on, we're going to have, again, going to the Old Key West we haven't talked about yet, and Saratoga Springs. That's gonna be another episode. So be prepared for that coming up. That
Yes.
our boss Dawn is going to join me for that. So I'm excited.
Oh, that's nice. I know Old Key West is one of her favorites.
Yeah, and that's one of the ones that I don't know. It's either Old Key West or Saratoga Springs are the two that we normally stay at. And more recently, it's been Saratoga Springs just because Old Key West is becoming more popular, and
Hmm.
we can't get the studios. So, but just a bit of a list of the different resorts you can stay at is, well, first off, starting with Old Key West Resort. It opened on December 20th, 1991, and it was initially called just the Disney Vacation Club Resort. And it wasn't until later on that when they started opening other ones, that they actually changed it. I believe it was whenever they opened the Boardwalk in 1996 that they changed the name. October 1st, 1991, Vero Beach, Florida. The resort opened there, and that's 95 miles southeast of Walt Disney World. So it's a Disney resort, but it's on the beach and away from a Disney park. The next year, actually a few months later, March 1st, 1996, Hilton Head Island in South Carolina opened. Then July 1st, 1996 was Disney's Boardwalk Villas. On November 15th, 2000, the Boulder Ridge Villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge opened. And it was called the Villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Then it was renamed in 2016 whenever a second group of villas opened there. The
Hmm.
Beach Club Villas were July 1st, 2002. Saratoga Springs, May 17th, 2004. Animal Kingdom Villas in July of 2007. You see this list just keeps going on. There's so many places to stay at.
Right.
Bay Lake Tower at Disney's Contemporary Resort was August 4th, 2009. So as we're recording this, it's a few days after their birthday. So happy 16th birthday, Sweet 16. In Hispanic culture, the 16th birthday is big. What is it? What is the name for that?
It's
And now
15th,
15th.
quinceañeras.
Oh, okay. One out, missed it by one.
Yeah, you have your quinceañera.
Let's see. Then out on the West Coast, Disney's
Hmm.
Grand Californian Hotel and Spa opened September 3rd, 2009. Alani, a Disney resort and spa, was August 28th, 2011. It's almost, wow, that's 14 years old. It does not seem like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is true.
Then there's, by the way, and that was coming back to talk about Hawaii in general with us. We've already talked about Alani with Maureen, but and that was coming back to talk about Hawaii. Let's see. The villas at Disney's Grand Floridian was October 23rd, 2013. Disney's Polynesian Villas and the Bungalows opened on April 1st. Not an April Fool's Day joke, 2015.
Hmm.
And more recently, the Island Tower opened. That was just last year,
Hmm.
less than a year ago, December 17th of 2024.
Have you stayed there yet?
I have not. We got to see it on our last trip. We were there in January of this year. So we got to be there right after it opened. And we made a stop at the Polynesian and got to see it. And look, it looks so fabulous.
We stayed there for a couple of days in March, end of March, beginning of April.
Does it deliver on the promises of how fabulous it looks?
Inside, yes. The room, yes. I think they could have done a little bit more with the resort itself. You still have to walk to the Polynesian for a lot of the stuff. So it's not self-sustained like the other ones are.
Okay. You got nice views though.
You do.
The Copper Creek, or if you're Pittsburgher, Copper Creek villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge opened July 17th, 2017. So there's a famous date, July 17th, for Disney fans. And that's where they made the change with the other villas with the Boulder Ridge. The Riviera opened on December 16th, 2019. So there's Annell's home resort. The villas at Disneyland Hotel were September 28th, 2003 or 2023. And then the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort were July 1st, 2024. So over the years, these have been added every couple years. And what's the count on that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 different hotels you can stay at.
And 20 coming soon.
And you would care to break well, I guess not breaking news, but where is the new one going to be?
It's gonna be, isn't it gonna be out there by oh my God.
Yeah, that place.
Yeah, near that place.
It's my favorite.
Oh my God.
I'm drawing a blank on it too. That's why I asked you to do it.
Yes. It's gonna be on the side. I know where the Wilderness Lodge and stuff. 'Cause I know you're gonna be able to take a boat. It's gonna be, oh my God, what is that area that it used to be?
It's coming in 2027. It's going to be
I'm throwing a
called
blank now.
Reflections,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
It's gonna be in the
Disney
Magic
Lakeshore
Kingdom
Lodge is
area.
what you're. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is that so kind of like where Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness Campground are? Is
Yeah.
that the general area that we're looking
Yes.
at?
Mm-hmm.
And what used to be there? The old water park,
Right.
River Country.
Mm-hmm.
It's right in that general area. Yeah, Disney Lakeshore Lodge, and the looks of it look fabulous.
Yeah, it should be. I think they're gonna be opening up the room soon so you can see a sample.
Yeah, and they just opened this up in Epcot in the Canada Pavilion. At least I think it's open now. That
Mhm.
there's a preview center, and these
Mm,
are really neat. I know they had one at Saratoga Springs that you can go in and you can see like
yes, that's right.
replica models of the rooms. And it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool that where the window is, they have a painting of what the actual scenery is going to be, like
Right,
what
right.
what the view would be out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like being actually in those rooms, so you can go in and see, oh, here's where my next stay is going to be.
Yep.
And so running through some of the different options that they have for the rooms at the different DVC hotels is that now that not all of them have each of these, and some of the nuances and the details will vary resort by resort, but just give you a general idea of what you can help what we can help book for you is that at the Riviera they have tower studios, and these only sleep two people. It has
And
a
they're
pull down. What's
tiny.
that?
They're tiny.
They're small. They have a pull down queen and a little kitchenette. So it has like a little sink area, microwave, small fridge, and then either a porch or a balcony, depending on which floor you're on. And although it's for the nice little getaway, the couple who is going to be going to the parks, does not need much room,
A quick
or even a
weekend
single
getaway.
person.
It works.
And yeah, I need a nice, comfortable place to stay that's going to be convenient for two of us at a fabulous resort that's going to have couple great restaurants and amazing atmosphere. The
Yes.
Riviera it's stunning.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the Skyliner, so that's awesome. But
Right.
it's built for a purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
it's it's small so they can fit more people in. So there's more of these rooms that can be had, and if you don't need that room, hey, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we typically get a deluxe studio that sleeps four. They either have two queen beds or a queen and a pull down, little kitchenette, a soaker tub, and DVD players, which is pretty neat if people remember what DVDs were before streaming. Actually, looking around, I we still have some VHS tapes somewhere, I think.
Yeah, they come in handy when like the lights go out, or not the lights go out, when our
The the
internet goes
cable,
out.
yeah. Oh, I have so many DVDs still. And so the thing with the pull downs, my little girl loves those. That we were at Saratoga Springs back in January, and we go into the room and it's set up that there's a couch there. And so instead of having the old couch bed that the bed comes out of the couch, I showed her like, okay, here's where the couch is. Here, watch this. And then I grabbed the little thing on the wall and pulled it down. And she's like, that is so amazing. And she was like, can I sleep here? And so she was just sitting on the bed having the time of her life just because it was a bed that came out of the wall.
Right. And they're comfortable.
They are.
So much comfortable than the sofa one. I mean, it is like a legit mattress that's on it. So you don't feel like that, when you're on those sleeper sofas, they can be uncomfortable. But
The Seinfeld episode. The, anyone who's a Seinfeld fan, there was a famous episode that I think they were like at Jerry's parents' house or something that had one of those fold-out couches, and
hmm
whoever slept on the couch woke up and like couldn't walk the next day because there was a bar that went into their back, and that was like the whole episode. Everyone with back problems, the whole episode.
Yeah, I bet those beds are comfortable.
Yeah, and actually, the funny thing is, this is several years ago that we stayed at the Saratoga Springs, and this was before we had our little girl. That it had it's a Murphy bed basically. Um, and we had one in our room and we pulled it down and my wife was like, are we gonna break it? Because it kind of cantilevers out and there's nothing to hold the bottom end of the bed.
hmm
And she's like, should we put like a table there or do we
hmm
need the whole? It's like, no, it's fine. It's strong enough. And she slept and I was like, this is so nice.
hmm
And then we like slept one night in the regular bed, one night in the pull down bed, and she's like, I can't decide which one I like better.
And the best thing is because you can put it up, it gives you that room. Instead of having like the two beds that take up that space, you still have that room that you can move around, sit on the sofa, watch TV, do whatever, and then just pull it out at night and then put it right back up in the morning. So it just makes the space feel a lot bigger.
Oh yeah, and whenever you're getting ready in the morning or just lounging around, take a pool
Yes.
break, midday break, it's in the evening, you're just watching TV, that it gives you that open area in front, especially with a little kid who can run around and play on the floor and do whatever, that it's a real nice change. And even since watching one of my favorite movies, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, back in the early 90s, Eddie Valiant had the Murphy bed. I was
Uh-huh.
like, 13 or 12-year-old me, however old I was whenever that came out, I was like, I want one of those whenever I get older. So
Goals. Those were
uh,
your adult goals.
say, check that off the bucket list. I've stayed in the place that has the pull down bed.
hmm
And now next is, and which type do you normally get now? Because we usually get the studio.
Um, Depending. We tend to go for the studio. Now, depending if the kids come along, we might do the one bedroom. I've done two bedrooms at the Riviera, and it was the kids, and it was my parents and my brother flew in from Puerto Rico. So I've gotten that one. So it depends, but normally I just do the studio because we can make it work with studio. I try to save those points because I go like 4 or 5 times a year to Disney.
Yeah.
So I try to save my points. So I save, the big ones, I have to save up those points and stuff. But as often as I go, I try to get the smaller ones that can accommodate everybody. We're all comfortable so that I can just keep going down.
More bang for your buck. That we
Yes,
really like having that little kitchenette, especially having the microwave, that we always rent
that's
a car.
helpful. Transportation for everything.
And if you'd like to learn more about the Disney transportation, we have an episode on that we did a couple earlier this year, I believe. So much stuff that they have ways of getting around. And the Skyliner, that's one of our favorites. That we'll just take that just to ride it.
hmm
It's like, oh no, we don't need to go anywhere. Just it's a ride
Yes, it's a right within itself. Yes.
with amazing views too.
Yes,
And it,
absolutely.
and we use it to go resort hopping because it connects
Me
right
too.
by the where the beach club is in Epcot, and then an easy walk to the yacht club and the boardwalk and the Swan and Dolphin, and then we'll
hmm
take it to the Riviera, get off, walk around there, take it over to Caribbean Beach, and they can even take it to Pop Century and
hmm
Art of Animation, and then or also to Hollywood Studios. And
hmm
one day, if we're towards the end of our trip, usually it's kind of we're all right, we've done pretty much everything we need. I don't want to wait in line anymore.
hmm
Let's go sit on the, we're tired. Let's go sit on the Skyliner for a while and go do that.
Right. Right.
Now we have stayed at the one bedroom too, and those are amazing.
hmm
But actually, going back with the studio, having the kitchenette, that we usually will go grocery shopping, and we'll get some frozen dinners and we'll put them in the fridge, And then whenever we come home at night from the park, if you need that late night snack, or if
Right.
it's like, all right, it's kind of late, we're tired, we want to get our daughter to bed, we don't want to
Mm-hmm.
really take too much time to get something to eat. We have food at the resort that we can just use that. Or if you wake up
Right.
in the morning, something to have breakfast, whatever. We buy all snacks that we take to the park too, to save a little bit of cost of and waiting in line at some of the quick service
Yeah.
restaurants, stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
especially our little girl gets hangry a lot. So waiting
Right.
in line and she wants food and she's starting to get irritable. Here, put something in your mouth and keep you occupied.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan. I usually put a Walmart order in, and by the time I get them, my Walmart order's there. And it helps with breakfast. That's my breakfast. And like you said, kids come back or you come back and you want something to munch on or something. It's easy just to throw a couple of things in that Walmart order and just have it delivered. And you can just eat your bagel or your granola bar, or whatever, while you're heading to the park and avoid those lines, because that Starbucks line and those breakfast lines get long. People are already in line before the park opens.
Hmm.
So to try to get a jump start on that, we do that, and then we just have lunch and dinner at the park.
Yeah. Now, if you would like more, especially if you're going to do a full resort day or if you're going to do a couple resort days, the one bedrooms are, oh, they're amazing. They sleep up to
Hmm.
five. They'll have a king bed uh, in the bedroom. Then there's the queen sleeper sofa, a twin sleeper chair, or they'll have the king, a queen pull down, and the twin pull down.
Hmm.
They have a full kitchen. There's a soaker tub and a whirlpool tub, DVD player, a washer and dryer. And we stayed at one of these. I've told the story on here a couple times. It was sort of like a honeymoon type thing for us. That whenever we actually got engaged in Disney, and on that
Oh.
trip, the ticket we were able to get, they had a promotion that it was buy 5 days, get 2 extra days free.
Hmm.
And the 2 extra days did not have, it was like a full year before they expired. So it wasn't the usual 14-day thing. And so we were only planning to be there for 5 days. So we had these 2 extra days, and that's where we got married. In May, we had some time off, and we were like, well, we got 2 days of tickets.
Hmm.
It's kind of nice weather. We have the days off. And so we booked a short trip down. And by the time we decided to go down, we could not get just the deluxe studio. So we splurged a little bit and got a 1 bedroom villa for just the two of us. But
Hmm.
oh my gosh, it's one of those things of I could get used to this.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that helps me to pack and coming back, because now I do laundry. I know you're on vacation, but I do laundry. I just bring back the clean clothes. So I don't have to do a lot when I get back. And then when you're in the studios, even though they don't have the laundry, the washing machine in there, there's always a laundry service somewhere for DVC members. Because if you are a DVC member, you don't pay for your laundry. So that you just make sure you have I have an owner's locker. So I make sure I have my detergent in my dryer sheet. So I take that and just find that if I'm in a studio, find where the DVC laundry mat's at and do laundry before I go home.
Yeah, and having just gotten back from a very long trip to Indonesia, that we had to do laundry several times, and so there's something about having just clean clothes, and whenever you get, especially you're tired when you get that back from Disney anyway,
Hmm.
and it's like,
Hmm.
that last day you throw a load of laundry in, and then you throw it in the dryer, and then you come home and it's like, okay, I just have to put it back in the drawers. I don't have to go down and do laundry and
Right,
extra stuff.
right.
So yeah. Indonesians, they do not have dryers over there. So you either wash, if you have a washing machine, you wash it at home and then you have to hang it up, or they have laundry services that we used a lot. You just
Okay.
drop your laundry off, they charge by the pound, and come back a day or two later and pick it up.
Okay.
And I got to figure out what detergent they use, because our clothes never smelled nicer.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like pulling out, like, they're like, found a sock on the ground. The one I was like, is this old or is this new? And it smells like, oh, it's definitely new, because it's awesome. Then there's the 2 bedroom villas. These sleep up to nine. And by the way, the 1 bedrooms, the little, so it's like an open concept. There is the private bedroom, and then there's
Mhm.
kind of an open kitchen, living room type area. And the one we stayed at had like a little island in the middle. It's where the TV was with the DVD player. But then you could also use like as a table from the other side. And there was like a little cabinet that closed the TV off. It's big. I mean, I wish whenever I was in college, I had some apartments that were this big.
Very true.
And so you really have a lot of space, especially if we're just having five people. It's it's comfortable. You are not like falling all over each other. You have room to spread out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now back to the two bedrooms. Sleeping nine, there's a king bedroom in the one, then there's two queens in the other bedroom. There's the queen sleeper sofa and twin sleeper chair, or you might get a king, two queens, and then the just a queen pull down and a twin pull down. So the depends on when the last time the resort was remodeled. They're going more towards the pull downs for the extra space, which as Annell and I said, we fully agree with.
Yes.
This one also has a full kitchen, soaker tub, whirlpool tub, DVD player, washer dryer, and for this, it's pretty neat that sometimes they'll combine a one bedroom with a studio to get the two bedroom. And I stayed in the one time I was at the boardwalk and I got just the studio. But whenever I got to the room, I walked in and there was this big double door, and I walked in and there was just this little room, and then there was a room to the left and a room to the right, and then the one to the left, which I later found out was a one bedroom studio or a one bedroom villa. To the right was
Hmm.
just my studio. So what you can do is if you some of these two bedrooms is it combines the two of them and you have that little meeting, little foyer area that's really
Mm.
neat. It's not a standard two bedroom, but it's a way to work around that to still get the same amount of space.
Right. And the good thing about when the rooms are set up like that too, well, you have that meeting area, and the other ones, they have their own private entrance. So they can either come through yours or they can have their own private entrance. So if someone comes in later at night, you don't have to come and disturb the people that are sleeping in the living room on the pull down. You can just go straight to your side and have that own entrance and go in and not disturb anybody.
Disney thinks of everything. And then if you really want to splurge, the three-bedroom grand villa, which sleeps up to 12. One bedroom has a king, another one has two queens, another bedroom has two doubles. There's the queen sleeper sofa and twin sleeper chair, or the pull downs. There's the full kitchen, soaker tub, whirlpool tub, DVD player, washer, dryer. Some of these can be 2 stories tall, like at the villas at the Disneyland Hotel. And that has a
Mhm.
private balcony and big glass windows. And some of these three-bedroom villas, they get a bit elaborate, let's just say.
Yes, very much so.
And some of those are really big too, that they're bordering on almost as big as my house with how big they are, which says something about how big the villas are and how small my house is. But still, I don't quite live in a mansion, but I have enough room for all my stuff, so that's fine. That's all you need.
That's what matters.
I have my wall of Legos set up, things that make you happy in life.
Absolutely. Gotta strive for that.
And now the DVC resorts, they're all treated like deluxe resorts, mainly because they're all at deluxe resorts. Almost uh Fort Wilderness is not a deluxe resort at the campground, but the villas, the cabins there are treated like you're saying a deluxe resort. So you get all of the deluxe amenities, which includes the extra magic hours at night on select nights at specific um parks, depending on it varies. And so you can stay there a couple extra hours with not a very big crowd, which is if you can stay up late, it is a great bang for your buck,
Hmm.
especially because you don't have to pay anything extra um, to get to ride some of see go on the attractions, go on the rides, see the shows without a whole big wait. So take your nap in the afternoon if you're gonna stay there,
Right.
if you're gonna do those. Again, with the deluxe resorts, they all have at least one table service restaurant. And we discussed this on previous episode whenever we talked to Mandy about some of the Skyliner resorts. You get to see the difference between the value, the moderate, and the deluxe. Moderates are all, or excuse me, the values are going to kind of like a food court, table service type, or excuse me, counter service stuff, quick service restaurants. Moderate, they have their quick service, and then they're going to have one table service. But then the deluxe, they are a bit more opulent. They're fabulous. That they're going to have more of the more fancy table service restaurants. Often they're going to have multiple table service restaurants. They have a fitness center. Usually they're very close to the parks or Disney Springs. And that's one of the biggest things is that the old real estate thing of location, 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 and that's what your deluxe resorts and the DVC resorts will give you. Is that the ones near the Magic Kingdom? You're just on the monorail, or if you're going to
Mhm.
Wilderness Lodge, you're a little boat ride away from the Magic Kingdom. The Yacht and Beach Club and Boardwalk, which are my favorite, you can walk to Epcot. You can even walk to Hollywood Studios or
Yes.
jump on a friendship.
Yes.
The Riviera, you're a short uh, Skyliner ride away from both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And then the Old Key West and Saratoga Springs are very close to Disney Springs. That with Saratoga Springs, you can even walk there, or you
Right.
get on the little, they have a bus, or you can get on the Sassagoula River Cruise, a little boat that'll take you there. So you're really paying a lot for those amenities and for being close to at least one of the parks. Now, the only exception is the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which you have to
Yeah.
get buses for everything, but you get to wake up and look out your window and you get to see animals just walking by. So,
Right.
and Annell already mentioned the restaurants there too, that you're getting enough there that it makes up for it. If you have to slum and go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge,
And their bars.
yes.
Yeah, good bars.
And as I was mentioning all that, the transportation, you get at least some transportation other than bus to at least one of the parks, other than Animal Kingdom Lodge. That I don't know. I still can't decide if I like the monorail or the Skyliner better.
Skyliner for me.
It's more scenic there, but
Yes.
from the first time that we went to Disney when I was even before I was 2 years old, it was a few months before I turned three. That's my
Hmm.
first memories are being at Disney. That we
Oh,
stayed at the
wow.
old golf resort, which is now the Shades of Green, which is
Right.
for military personnel and veterans. Which thank you for your service for everybody, and I was from a military family, so we always appreciate that. But there was a like a little miniature golf course on the roof of the golf hotel, and I remember being up
Okay.
there playing miniature golf.
Oh,
The
I didn't
more,
know that.
at least I think there was. I remember at least that's what my memory tells me. But I was, again, less than 3 years old. I was
Hmm.
very traumatized during that trip though, because we
Why?
went in September,
Uh-huh.
and in Florida they have what are called love bugs,
Mm-hmm.
and in September that is mating season. So these bugs come out and they kind of attach to their mates,
Mm-hmm.
and they are everywhere. And so I remember getting out of the in the airport, getting into our rental car, and having these love bugs come into the window and land on my blankie. And I was crying to my mom, "They're on my blankie, get them off." So, and of course, they were everywhere, so there's nothing you can do
Hmm.
about it. But yeah, that was my traumatic experience on my first trip to Disney. But I persevered
Good to know.
and gone back almost countless times since then.
Hmm.
So, no, do you have a favorite Disney resort to stay at?
Hard.
Yeah, we asked the tough questions on this podcast.
I love my home resort. I love the Riviera. I love the rooms. I prefer the rooms at the Riviera over Animal Kingdom Lodge, but I like the lodge, the resort as a whole at Animal Kingdom Lodge more so as a resort as a whole at the Riviera. But I mean, the beauty of it is they all have something that you're like, "Oh, this is what I like about this resort." You find something that you like about all of them that just makes it hard, just some pull at you a little bit more than the other for, different reasons. But they all, I think, does a really good job about encompassing a certain feeling that you get attached to each resort. And I think that's what storytelling, that's what Disney does best.
And we talked about this before with Mandy about the different resorts, is that the value resorts are over the top with the theming, and kids love those, like the
Right.
All Star resorts and the Pop Century. That you get these giant statues of your favorite Disney characters, and the colors are, I think Mandy said it's loud coloring that
Hmm.
it hits you over the head. It's very vibrant, and it just appeals to kids. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts of I'm in a Disney hotel, and it puts you right in that Disney bubble right away. Of this is Disney, yes. As you
Absolutely
move
great
up,
for young kids.
Yeah, whenever you go
Because
up to the deluxe resorts and the DVC resorts, it is still amazing theming, but it's more subtle. It's more
hmm
muted, I'll say. They're like going to the Grand Floridian, you are in 1920s or early 1900s, Victorian architecture,
hmm
grandeur. You walk into that lobby there, and it's like, excuse me, I need to go home and get a suit on, or maybe a tuxedo to come back into this place. Like,
hmm
the brass railings and the birdcage elevator, and that atrium that's in the lobby that's several stories tall, just open up, with the balconies going around. And it's, yeah, you could go back in time there. The yacht
And
and
those
beach.
rooms,
Oh
the
yeah.
remodeling they did, that Mary Poppins theme, it is those, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
And plus on that resort they have the wedding pavilion. So just even walking by there, that the view of the castle from there too is just amazing.
hmm
Going to the yacht and beach club, you could be on, you know, the East Coast beach, up like in New England. Same thing with the
hmm
yacht club. You could be right there. That and the subtle changes in the style. It's very similar between the two, since they're sister resorts that sit next to each other and share a lot of the, they share Stormalong Bay, which is I think the best pool at Disney,
hmm
with the sandy bottom pool and the water slide and the lazy river and everything you can do there. But just the slight little things of changing from more of a beach feel to a nautical feel. And you don't necessarily, it doesn't jump out at you, but it seems to fit. And it's the subtle things of
Right.
something's different. Yeah,
Mm.
this fit. And then you see the costumes that the cast members are wearing, and just little accents. And it's like, yeah, this is where you're at. Going across to the boardwalk, and it's like, all right, I could be in Atlantic City right now.
hmm And I think it's things that maybe people that don't go to Disney often or only have done Valley Resort, when you think, oh, I'm staying at Disney, they think you're getting that in your face Disney all the time and don't realize that Disney, other Disney Resort offers you so much more. And that's where, you have people that are hooked, people that have been going there for years and years, elderly couples, people that have generations that go there because there's something for everyone. And once you start climbing and going into different categories of resorts, you're gonna see that, and you can like the theming that they have. It makes you feel like you're in different locations and really not in Disney.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can't decide on my favorite. It's either Yacht and Beach Club or Boardwalk, but that's mainly because of proximity to two different parks you can get to very easily, and you don't have to worry about when is the next bus coming. Is the monorail going to be be very crowded? Things like that. Especially whenever I was single and going there, I would get up early and I would go walk to the park,
hmm
and it was so convenient.
And it's best when you're staying and you're watching the fireworks or watching shows, and those crowds to get on transportation are so long, and you can just walk back to your room and don't have to wait in line to get onto transportation is the best.
Absolutely, especially if you're, at the Magic Kingdom and you're staying at the Contemporary or
hmm
Bay Lake Tower, that you can just it's a five, well, depending on where your room is, it can be a 5 minute walk.
hmm
Or if you're, staying at here's your neat hack of if you're staying around the one of the Magic Kingdom resorts, is you can see the fireworks from your resort. So if
Yes.
you leave a little bit early, especially if you're at the Polynesian and you go to the beach and you can watch the fireworks from a distance and you can still hear the music that they pipe in,
hmm
and you don't get to see all the projections on Main Street, but you get to see the fireworks, and especially if you
hmm
have little kids who are kind of skittish around loud noises, like my daughter. She talks a big game of, oh yeah, we're gonna stay for the fireworks, and I love them. And then the first one goes off, and she's in tears, running away. That that little bit of a distance and a little bit of a muted sound from all the big booms, that
hmm
you get to watch them from there, and then you're real quick getting back to your room, and you're in bed before most people even get out of the park.
hmm Very true.
So especially if you're gonna have, little kids who don't want to have the late nights,
Very true.
then oh, even though I like the location of the Yacht and Beach Club in the boardwalk, there's something about the Contemporary that
Okay.
speaks to me.
I've
That
yet to stay there.
we stayed there 1988. That So 8-year-old me staying at the Contemporary and having the monorail go through the lobby or
Mm,
go through the middle of it. And that just amazed me of seeing that. And
mm-hmm,
it has stuck with me that I will still always make a point to ride the monorail and take the one that goes through the Contemporary just because it's like it's a monorail that goes through the hotel. And I don't
mm-hmm.
know, it still thrills me to this day. Although the Old Key West and Saratoga Springs, they've kind of grown on me a bit. That just because that's where we normally stay, but it's a little bit away from the parks. It can be, and they're very big and spread out, so it seems a little bit more quiet, and
Yeah.
it's more relaxing that you're in the parks the whole day, and it's rush, 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 and all the chaos and craziness in a good way though.
Mhm.
The getting back to the hotel and it's kind of quiet when you're going home. So it's that nice deep breath. Oh, that was, thinking about your day, reminiscing, gives you that chance to reminisce and think back on your day and a little bit of a quiet moment as you're going back to your hotel.
Right, right. That's you decompress.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, I mostly stay in get the deluxe studios whenever we stay there. But the one bedrooms, they're so nice.
They're so nice and it's hard. Like once you stay at the one bedroom, like the deluxe is roughing it now.
Yeah.
But those one bedrooms, yes, the tub alone is worth it. Worth it after a long day. The tub alone is worth it.
Yeah, because whenever did the one bedroom and we had that shorter trip, we only had 2 days in the park, and so we had a several day stay, but we did some other stuff that it wasn't quite resort days all the time, but we this was back whenever you could do the parasailing on Bay Lake.
Oh wow, okay.
And so going up on that and seeing the Magic Kingdom from above and seeing being higher than the Contemporary and getting to
Hmm.
see over to Grand Floridian, the Polynesian and Wilderness Lodge from being up in the air, that was such a neat perspective. I'm sad that's gone. I'd like to do that again. But we did
Yeah.
that one day and then we had free time, so we got to spend more time at the resort. And the
Uh-huh.
one time we made after walking in, we saw the my wife saw the tub. She's like, "Excuse me, I need to do something right now." And so she made a point to sit in the soak in the tub for a while.
Hmm. Yep. It's yeah, it really helps. It really helps. And it's just like, this is the life.
Yeah, it'll get you spoiled.
It does. It does. And then you got to figure out you want to buy more points and then go down a rabbit hole.
Although, like we said, you don't need the points for this. You can always just book a stay straight at one of these resorts, or ask your travel advisor, and we can help you out. And that's the other thing with so many options is there's not necessarily the best there's no best resort to stay at.
Hmm.
There is a best resort for your stay.
Exactly.
But I can get that of people asking me, okay, we're going to Disney. Where should we stay? It's like, well, let me ask you a few more questions. How many
Right.
people are going? What is your budget? Do you plan on spending any time at the resort? Do you have a favorite park? Do you want to have the fitness center? Do you want to have this room? Do you want the kitchenette? And there's so many different things and little nuances that come into play. And that's what Annell and I do is that each Disney trip, and actually every vacation period is unique. That it's not, oh, you're going to Disney? Here's your itinerary. We'll work with you to figure out where you want to stay, what's going to be the best stay for you to fit your needs and your budget. What do you want to do? You have kids this age. What should they go on? What can they go on? And we work with you to give you the best day for you that is going to be personalized.
Yes.
There's no rubber
Absolutely.
stamp for us.
Right. Right. Because it changes
And even our stays change each time.
for our needs. Absolutely.
And they're
Absolutely.
going back from whenever we were kids, and I have three sisters, so as we were growing up, getting the different, what can we go on? What do we want to stay at this time? Where have we not stayed yet? That my dad's a little bit more adventurous of wanting to try all the different hotels, that type of thing.
Hmm.
And then to whenever I was going by myself, of things that I wanted to do on my trips, and even that changed a bit. That the one time my sister took her family down with her kids that were young at the time, and I went down with them along with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things that they want to do that I wasn't exactly thrilled about. So I did some of the behind the scenes tours
Yeah.
because I'd been to Disney so many times. Like I want to try these extra things.
Mm-hmm.
Then whenever my wife started going, she had never been to Disney. So we geared our stays more towards what she wanted to do the first couple times. And then we
Mm-hmm.
knew what our favorites were. So we knew what we could wanted to do together. Then whenever my daughter came, what could she do? In our first couple trips, it was mostly, hey, let's go on the carousel 10 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And or I would take her on the carousel, my wife would do something, and then she'd watch her. And if we wanted doing the child swap type thing, the rider swap. And now that she's getting bigger and getting, she can go on more things, and now she's more pretty adventurous, so we get to go on more of the roller coasters with her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still gearing towards, with her. At Hollywood Studios. We try to rope drop, um, Slinky Dog Dash. If I'm going, I'm rope dropping, Rise of the Resistance.
I
But
already knew that.
yeah,
That was a given.
but working around, just emphasizing and highlighting that your trips are different all the time, and
Hmm.
everybody's needs are going to be different, their wants are going to be different. So we'll work with you to find out what's going to work best for you.
Absolutely.
And although we talked about the DVC mostly at Walt Disney World, the Disneyland stuff, oh man, I have not had a chance to stay at the new villas at the Disneyland Hotel. I've stayed at the regular rooms there, but they were just finishing up building it the last time we were down there. But the Grand Californian, oh, that is
Walk through. I haven't stayed.
oh,
Stayed.
that was my first trip to Disneyland. I stayed there, and my room at the Grand Californian overlooked Disney California Adventure Park, right back where the and now it's Pixar Pier area. And so, especially late at night, whenever it's getting dark out, to look out and be able to
Mm-hmm.
see the park, where you wake up in, it's 3 a.m. and you wake up, especially with the time change type stuff, and you look out, and then the park is just there. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Or staying at the boardwalk and you wake up and you look out and there's the Tower of Terror. Or if you're on the other side and you wake up and there's Spaceship Earth. That and the Grand Californian, it's very reminds me a lot of the Wilderness Lodge with that
Right.
that stuff. And being that Yosemite National Park out in California is my favorite place to visit, the most majestic place I've ever been, and the Awani and some of the big lodges they have in the national parks, they Disney Imagineers did a wonderful job of capturing that feel in that style of what you're going to see at those national park lodges, and it makes you fit in. That was another one that I walked in, I was like, I'm underdressed. I mean, it's like a lodge, in a national park, but and it's all, the wood accents and everything. But oh yeah, I was like, I have to wear something nicer here. I have to get a suit on to fit in. It's just stunning.
And it's a great place to have a drink too. They're
Oh,
more
that
their atmosphere.
mm-hmm.
That little bar because you can sit inside, outside. Very, very nice.
Was it the Napa Valley thing?
Mm,
Is that the
it was just it's I must have sat there for like an hour or two and just sat there and just talked and relaxed.
And did you go to the one place that's back by where the private entrance to California Adventure is and where the pool is? You can look out. I know there's a
Yes.
little restaurant pool. Yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
nice area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hopefully
now, do you
we'll
have
be
any?
going back soon. Like that's supposed to be my daughter's graduation trip. She's never
Oh,
been to Disneyland. So it's going to be a group of us going because my niece has never been either, and my sister-in-law and her family. So, and both of the girls this is their senior year, so that's going to be their graduation trip.
was that their choice? So we want to go to Disneyland.
Yes. It was between that and the cruise. They were teetering back and forth. My niece is really big into Marvel and Avengers. So then that tipped it over. And since, my son, works at Disney, so he's
Yeah.
most likely won't be able to get the time off. And then my other niece, she's gonna be going off into the military, so she wouldn't be able to come on this trip either. So when my daughter realized her other cousin was leaning towards this, she's like, "Yes, let's just do Disneyland," because she didn't want to be on a cruise just by herself.
And that just shows how good of a parent Annell was. She raised her daughter properly. She's making good decisions in life.
Trying to.
But yeah, Disney World is an awesome thing to go to, but Disneyland is kind of that exotic thing that you don't get to do quite so much because, Annell and I are East Coast people going across the country. It's a lot easier to go down to Florida, but there's
Absolutely.
something special about Disneyland.
Yes, there is. There is. I can't wait to go back.
And there's a special feel that there's a reverence of the way that the cast members kind of approach the park there. Then I've talked to a couple of them out there that, and they've specifically told me that we need to be better or
Hmm.
be our best because Walt walked here.
Hmm.
This is Walt's park. He was here.
Hmm.
There was his apartment. He stayed there,
Hmm.
and you can feel that. That as great as I've had with cast members in great experiences I've had with cast members in Walt Disney World in Florida, Disneyland, it was better.
Different feeling.
Yeah,
It's a different feeling as soon as you walk in.
we've talked about that too on one of these podcasts too. So a couple of times. So no, do you have anything else you want to add about the DVC resorts before we move into travel tips?
Definitely. Well, I guess this would also be my travel tip too. Let's see. Just definitely just work out the numbers. See if it's right for your family. Last Matt said it's not right for everybody. If you only go once a year, it's definitely not worth it. Twice a year, I would still say it's not worth it. You have to go upward of, I think, maybe three, or maybe doing a big. If you're doing a big trip yearly, it might be. But definitely do the numbers. See what you come up with. There's other perks to being DVC members. They have something called Moonlight Magic, where if you're staying at a resort while they're having Moonlight Magic, you can bring families and friends, and as long as you don't go over the occupancy rate of that room, these people can come with you to the parks for these events, and they're free events that they give to DVC members where their park will close out at night, and for some hours you have the park to yourself. They give you little vouchers where you can snack for free. They do activities at the water park. That's for DVC members. That's also free. You get discount if you're going to be an annual pass holder. You get a discount on your passes. So there's other stuff. There's member cruises where the cruise ship, you can go to a member cruise and it's just DVC members. Anytime you go to Disney, you go to any DVC kiosks or something, and they usually give you a free something. You get something. In fact, I think this one right here was from me visiting on a day, and that's what they were giving out was a portrait. So just really look into it and really see, does this make sense? And if it makes sense for you guys, I definitely do recommend it.
I think I
Oh,
have one
that's
of
what
mine too of a
you
Beauty and the
got.
Beast.
Mm-hmm. And I got mine hanging throughout my office and stuff. So there's different perks. They give you, stuff for you get merchandise, stuff for your magic bands. So there's a lot of different things. So definitely check it out.
And now building off of that is if you're one of the people that the DVC membership just does not make financial sense for you, or a lot, if you're not going to use it, then it's not for you. But with the exception of the yacht club, there's DVC rooms at all of the deluxe resorts. And as I mentioned before, these can be reserved just like regular rooms. They offer more than you get at a normal hotel room. But more isn't always better. So make sure that you get the hotel room that fits your needs. So the 3-bedroom grand villas are fabulous,
Hmm.
but is that going to be economical and worth your money to stay at one? You know,
Yes.
if you're gonna, all right, we're gonna come in, we're gonna sleep there, and then we're gonna be at the parks all day, or you're not gonna be using all the stuff that you're not gonna really be enjoying that 3-bedroom
Right.
grand villa unless you have a lot of big family that's going. As I mentioned before, we like the kitchenette and we use it every day that we're down there. So getting the deluxe studio really fits our needs. We don't spend a whole lot of time in the hotel room and we don't need the full kitchen, so we don't really need anything bigger. We
Hmm.
splurged for the 1 bedroom in the past whenever we weren't going to the parks every day. So that made sense for that trip to be a little more elaborate. Since we're going to be at the resort, let's have a bit of a bigger room. But big room isn't typically, we typically don't need that. So
Right.
we go for what we need.
Right.
And this is another reason why you want to use a travel advisor. That
Right.
we're going to talk to you and figure out what type of room is right for your trip. We don't try to upsell you for the biggest and most expensive room. That we're not just trying to get the most money out of you. We
Mm.
want to find the route that's going to fit your needs and give you an amazing trip. Which then means if you have a great time, chances are you'll come back to us, and then we can find another amazing trip for you. So
Absolutely.
it's not a one shot deal here that we're just trying to, take you for as much as you can. That we want to, be able to help you again and again and again and give you all these amazing trips. That this is why we are travel advisors. Is that we like going to these places. We have made such fabulous memories at these places. We then want others to experience that same type of thing and to have the fun that we're having and have the experiences we're having and have the memories that we're having.
Absolutely. This is what we live and breathe.
And again, there's so much stuff going on that, we're kind of, I want to say obsessed, but in a good way with Disney that it brings us joy. So it's not really that bad. So we know a
We
lot
just
about
want to
it. We
spread
can
the
help you
joy,
out.
that's all.
Exactly. Now, if you have a destination or experience that you'd like to have us discuss on the Where Yinz Going podcast, or if you like to share a favorite destination or a travel tip, feel free to contact me. I'd love to hear your feedback and ideas. And now, how can people get a hold of you?
You can shoot me an email at Annell, Annell, at Dreams by Design Travel. You can find me on Facebook, same Dreams by Design Travel with Annell, or on TikTok at Pixie-Latte.
And I mentioned this before that Annelle's social media is top notch. So she puts
Oh,
together some really good videos and other stuff. So if you're not following her, definitely follow. There are some times there that they'll bring your handkerchief or you have your tissues near because she has some tearjerkers on that. Here at the podcast, we're on Facebook and X at Where Yinz Goin. Yinz, Yinz, Goin, Goin with the apostrophe. All this information is in the episode description. So if you want to contact us to book a trip or have any questions, you can find us. You don't have to worry about spelling or writing this down or having a good memory or anything else. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend. If you like what you heard, please tell other people. Again, sharing our love with other things and sharing the fun here, right?
Absolutely.
So now, as always, this was awesome. Thank you for joining me. I'm now looking forward to my next trip, which sadly is going to be in like 5 months. Wow, 5 months. No.
Mm.
All right, I think I changed that. We got to go earlier.
Right, right.
We might,
At least they got the new magnets for annual pass holder. You got to go down.
yeah. Right now, the plan is to go in January, right after New Year's. But
Hmm.
depending on how some schedules work out, we might be bumping that up to before Christmas. So that's on my to-do list to check the DVC, see what's available right before there. So,
Right? Definitely do that.
but we'll have you back again to talk about more fun stuff. And now,
Thanks for
so
having me again. It's always fun.
everyone else, please join us next time. We're head at that. We'll see you later.
Bye.